Late
I'm
one
freezing.
night,
Let
when
me
the
and I
world
beg.
felt quieter
I'll
than
reward
usual,
you.
Daniel
promises
sat
of the
alone in
poor,
his
Apache
small
woman.
apartment with the soft glow of
Before
his
we dive
laptop
into the
lighting his
story,
face.
don't forget
Outside,
to like the
rain
video
tapped
and
gently
tell us
against
in the
window
comments
like
where you're
distant
watching from.
whispers. The city had gone to sleep, but his mind
The
refused
sky
to
above the
rest.
high ridges
He had
of
spent
northern
hours
Arizona
scrolling through
was
the
dull
internet,
steel,
searching for something
low,
he couldn't even name.
heavy, and
Maybe
motionless.
distraction, maybe
Snow had
meaning,
been falling since
maybe
morning.
just the comfort
It
of
wasn't the
feeling
kind of
less
flurry
alone.
that passed through
Daniel
in an
had lost
hour,
his mother
but a
6
steady,
months earlier.
relentless curtain
Since
that
then,
blurred the tree
silence had
lean
become
and
the
covered
loudest thing in
everything
his
with a
life.
thick silence.
The apartment
The
still
wind
smelled
wasn't screaming.
faintly like the
It was
lavender
worse than
soap
that.
she
It
used
was
when
quiet
she
and
visited.
sharp.
Sometimes
threading
he
through the
would
cracks of
stand
the
in
pine
the
woods
kitchen
and down
and
into the
imagine her
isolated
voice,
basin,
calling
where
his
the
name
land
the way she
flattened
always
just
did,
enough for someone
warm
to live.
and familiar.
John
But
Merritt had been
imagination
splitting logs
could only
since noon,
stretch so
his
far
gloves
before
stiff,
reality
shoulders
returned.
tight from the cold
With
that
a
crept
sigh,
through even
he
the
leaned back in
wool-lined
his
sleeves
chair
of
and
his
opened
coat.
a random message.
35 years old,
Someone had sent him earlier
broad-chested,
that evening.
worn down
It was from an
the war and
unknown
a life he
account.
didn't talk
No
about.
name, no profile
John lived
picture.
here because
Just
it was
a
far
single
from other
message.
people.
A link.
That was the point.
At first,
The
he
cabin
assumed it
was
was
his
spam.
and no
The
one
internet was
else's,
full of strange
a
things
weather-beaten
like that.
structure with
Yet
warped
something about it
shutters
made him
and
pause.
snow pressed
Maybe it
thick
was the
against its
timing.
base.
Maybe it was
A
the
year ago,
emptiness he felt
he'd
that
boarded
night.
over the second
Curiosity
window after
slowly
it cracked
overcame
in a
caution.
storm.
He
2
clicked
years
it.
before
The
that,
video opened
he'd
to a
buried
black
his
screen.
last dog
For
beneath the
several
sycamore
seconds,
near the barn.
nothing happened.
There weren't visitors.
Daniel frowned
There weren't
and
neighbors.
reached for the mouse to
Just
close
trees,
it, thinking it was
ice,
broken.
and his quiet
Then a voice
routines.
spoke. Soft,
He'd lived
familiar.
here since his wife
His
died.
heart stopped.
That was almost 8 years
Daniel.
back.
He
Their
froze
boy
in his
hadn't
chair.
made it to
That
his second
voice.
winter.
It couldn't
After
be.
that,
The
John
screen
stopped going to
slowly
town
faded from
more
black,
than once every season.
revealing a dim room
No one came
with
out this
warm
far
yellow
unless
light.
they were lost,
A woman sat in a
desperate,
chair
or
facing the
planning something
camera.
ugly.
Daniel's breath
So when he
caught in
heard the
his throat.
sound, that
It was
soft,
his mother.
irregular
She
crunch
looked
of
exactly
snow,
the same.
faint
The
but
gentle
real.
wrinkles around
His
her
first
eyes.
instinct
The
was
way
caution.
her hair
He
curled
straightened,
slightly near
axe
her
still in
shoulders.
hand,
The calm
eyes
warmth
narrowed
in
on
her
the woods
expression.
beyond the
He
fence.
felt the air
At
leave
first
his
he thought it
lungs.
was an elk.
This must be
Then he
some
thought it might
kind
be a
of joke,
thief,
he
or
whispered to
worse,
himself.
a
But his
prospector
hands
or a
trembled.
rider from
On the
Holbrook
screen,
straight
she
off the trail.
smiled the same
He
way
didn't
she
move,
always did
just
when
listened,
she knew he
back
was
rigid,
confused.
boots half
If
buried
you're
in drift.
watching this,
Then he
she
saw
said
her,
softly,
a woman,
it means you
thin,
found the link.
barefoot,
Daniel leaned
buckskin
closer to the
dress,
screen.
torn and
His heart was
flapping at the
pounding
end.
so
Her
loudly he
legs
could hear
sank
it.
through the snow
"Ah,"
as she
he
staggered
whispered.
toward the
The
porch.
video continued.
One step,
I know this
then
might
another,
feel strange,
arms
she said,
clutched tight to her chest.
but I asked someone to
Her hair
send
was
this to
long
you
and
after
black,
I was gone.
braided in one thick
Daniel
cord
felt a
down her
tear
back.
slide down
Her
his
skin
cheek
was dark brown,
before he even
face
realized he was
windburned and
crying.
tight.
I
Not a
knew you,
settler.
Daniel, she continued
Apache.
gently.
John's
I knew
gut
how
tensed
quiet your
immediately.
world would become
Not
without
from
me.
hatred.
And I
He wasn't
worried
the
you
kind
might
of
start
man,
believing you
but
were
from
alone.
what he knew.
Her
What he'd
eyes softened.
seen.
But you're
Apache
not.
women didn't wander
Daniel
alone
covered
in
his
white
mouth,
territory
trying
in
to
the middle
control
of
the
winter,
shaking in his
barefoot
chest.
and near
The video
collapse.
wasn't long,
Unless something
but
had
every
gone very
second
wrong.
felt heavy with
He stepped
emotion.
toward her slowly,
She talked about
his
small
mind already
memories.
tracking
The time he fell
possibilities.
off his bike
She
when
could
he
be bait.
was 8
There could be
and
others in the
pretended he
woods,
wasn't hurt.
waiting.
Because
but as she
he
came
didn't
closer,
want to cry.
stumbling now,
The way he
legs
used to
barely
hide
lifting through the
cookies
snow,
in his
that
backpack
thought
so
started
she
to
wouldn't
fade.
notice
Her face
he had
was
eaten
wrong
half the
for a
box.
trap.
She
He was
remembered
raw,
everything,
exhausted,
and hearing those
terrified.
memories felt like
She
pieces
dropped
of
to her
his
knees
past
in the snow,
were suddenly
not 10
breathing
yards
again.
from the steps.
Then her voice
hands
became
splaying
quieter.
into the drift.
I know you blame
Her
yourself
body
for the
swaying
last
like
day,
she'd
she
pass
said.
out right there.
Daniel's stomach
He watched for
tightened.
another second.
That day had haunted
Every
him for
instinct
months.
in him yelling
He had been
for
too
distance,
busy with work
warning
to
him
visit her at
against
the
stepping
hospital.
in. He didn't know
told
her.
himself he would
Didn't
go
know
the
her.
next morning.
He lived
but
quiet,
morning never came for
and
her.
that quiet
He had
kept him
carried
alive.
that guilt like a
Then she looked
stone
up.
inside his
"Please,"
chest.
she
On the
said.
screen, she
Her
shook her
voice
head
was dry
gently.
and tight,
You must
barely
stop
audible.
punishing yourself.
Her lips cracked.
Daniel stared
"Let
at
me
her
in."
through tears.
John's
You
jaw
were
tightened.
always a good
He
son,
didn't
she
move.
said.
"I can reward
You loved me in 1,000
she
small
added.
ways.
Lower this
Love is
time.
not measured
Keep
by one
chattering.
day.
Please.
He felt something
She had
inside him
nothing.
begin to break
No pack.
open. The
No
video
boots.
paused for a
No
moment as she
visible
took
weapon.
a small breath.
No frostbite
Then she
yet,
smiled
but
again.
it was coming.
And I have have
Her
one
fingers were
request.
stiff and red.
Daniel leaned forward.
Her toes sunk
Live,
deep in snow
she said
that must
simply.
have burned
Not
like
survive,
fire by now.
not endure.
John thought
Live,
about walking back
travel somewhere
inside
you've never
and
been,
bolting the
she
door.
continued.
He thought about
Talk to
staying
people.
quiet
Laugh
and
again.
letting nature
Let your heart
do
feel
what it was
things,
already doing.
even if it hurts
Let the storm
sometimes.
finish her.
Her eyes
She'd be
shined
gone by
with
morning,
warmth.
and no
That's
one
the
would
only
know.
way life works.
No risk.
Daniel
No
wiped his
complication.
face,
Just
but
the same
tears
quiet
kept
he
coming.
always kept.
I'll always
But
be
he didn't
part
move
of you,
away.
she said.
Instead,
But your story
he
is
stepped
still being
forward.
written.
He crouched
The video
beside
slowly
her,
faded to
slowly,
black. And just
testing her
like that, it
reactions.
ended.
She
Daniel
didn't
sat
flinch.
motionless in the
She was
dark room.
past fear.
The rain
Her face
outside had
twisted
stopped.
slightly,
The
not
silence
in panic,
returned,
but in shame.
but it no longer
She
felt
wasn't pleading
empty.
now.
It felt
She
full of
looked like
echoes.
she was
He
waiting
replayed
for
the video
judgment.
3 times
Can you
that
walk?
night.
He
Every
asked, his
word
voice
felt
even
like a
but low.
hand
She
reaching
didn't
across
answer.
time.
Her eyes
For the first
fluttered
time in
closed
months,
for a second.
he slept
Then she
without
shook
the
her head
crushing weight
barely.
of regret
John looked
pressing
around
on his
once,
chest.
into
The
the
next
trees,
morning,
into
sunlight
the
poured
ridge,
through his window.
into the nothingness
Daniel
of
woke up
cold,
slowly,
white wilderness,
staring at the
and
ceiling.
decided,
Something
He hooked
felt
one
different,
arm under her
not
knees,
perfect,
the
not
other
healed,
behind her back,
but lighter.
and lifted her.
He opened his
She was
laptop
lighter
again,
than she should have been.
expecting the
Her
link
body
to
tensed
still
against
be
his
there.
chest,
But it
she
was
didn't
gone.
fight him.
The message
She
had
didn't speak
disappeared.
again.
No
He
trace
carried
of
her
the
to the
account.
porch,
No
kicked
video.
the door open
He
with
searched
his boot,
everywhere.
and stepped
His browser
inside.
history,
The
his
warmth hit
messages, the
them
internet.
immediately.
Nothing.
Inside,
it was as if the link
fire
had
was
never
steady,
existed.
built strong
For a
before
moment,
noon.
doubt crept into
A pot
his
of
mind.
beans
Had
simmered
he
on the
imagined
stove.
it? But
The
then
room was sparse,
he remembered
just
every
shelves, a
word,
cot,
every
a
expression
table,
on her
and a
face,
fire.
every
It
memory
smelled like
she
smoke
mentioned.
and dust
No
and
dream
pine.
could feel that
He set her
real.
down gently
Daniel
on the
stood up
wool
and
rug
walked to the
beside the
window.
hearth,
The
and went to
city
grab
looked
the
different in
thickest
the
blanket
morning
from his
light.
cot.
People
She
moved
leaned
along the
against the
streets,
stone of the
cars
fireplace,
passed by.
head
Life
tilted
continued
back,
the way it always
breathing
had.
shallow.
And suddenly he
Her eyes
realized
blinked
something.
open,
Life
tried
had
to take in the
continued
room.
even while he had
She
been
looked at the
standing
table,
still.
at the
His
rifle
mother's
on the
voice
wall,
echoed
then at him
softly in
again.
his mind.
Suspicion
Life.
flickered in her eyes.
He opened his
but it was
closet and
weak,
pulled out an
dulled
old
by
backpack.
exhaustion.
The same
John
one
knelt
he
beside
used
her
during college.
and began
He
wrapping the
packed
blanket
slowly,
around her
a
legs.
few clothes.
Keep your feet off
his
the floor,
camera,
he said.
a notebook.
You'll lose them if
Then
they
he
stay
booked a
that
train
cold.
ticket to a
Still
small
nothing.
town he had
He checked her
always
hands.
wanted to visit
Her
but never
fingertips were
had time
chapped,
for.
the
It
skin
wasn't a
tight
grand
and
plan.
red, but not
It was
black.
just a beginning.
Not yet.
That
He
evening,
poured
as the
hot
train
water from the
carried him
kettle
away
into a
from the
tin
city,
mug, added a
Daniel
pinch of
watched the
salt
sunset
and a
through the
dash of
window.
the honey he'd
The sky
saved from
burned
last
with
spring
shades of gold
and
and
handed
deep
to her.
orange.
Drink it
For the
slow.
first time
If
in
you
a
throw it
long
up,
while,
I'm not
he
cleaning it.
smiled without
She took the
forcing
cup with
it.
both hands.
He still missed her.
They shook as she tried to
always
lift
would.
it,
But
she
now,
managed.
the memory of
John
her
sat
voice no
back on
longer
his
felt like an
heels and
anchor
watched her
pulling him
drink.
down.
Her throat
It felt
moved
like
with
wind
each
behind
swallow,
his back. And
slow
somewhere
and
deep
careful.
inside his
Her eyes
heart,
stayed on
he
him,
understood something
watching,
simple and
waiting.
powerful.
But she didn't
Some
speak
messages
again.
arrive
He didn't ask
exactly
her
when
name,
the soul
didn't
needs
offer
them
his.
most.
It
Even
was
if they
enough
come
that she
from the
was here.
past.
But he hadn't
Even
left
if
her
they
out there to
arrive through a
freeze.
mysterious
He didn't
link
know
in
what
the
tomorrow
quiet
would
hours
bring.
of the night.
He didn't know who
and
she was
sometimes
or what she
a
wanted.
single
But he
message
didn't
can
know
change
this.
the direction
No one deserved
of
to
an
die like
entire
that,
life.
alone in the snow.